Hello world, welcome back. This is Subarray 23's Let's Play of Pillars of Eternity. Let's get back into it. This is Jason as usual. While I was eating, went ahead and left the sanitarium, and I was immediately accosted by an envoy telling me to go speak to Lady Webb. And Lady Webb just happens to be a building just down the road from the sanitarium, so didn't miss too much. Did run into a little spirit watcher thing. Also not a big deal.
Good day to you.
You carry whispers. Cadenua, Gilded Veil, old voices indeed. As a cipher, it's my job to know these things. You carry the whiff of ancients. Not as much as I would like, unfortunately. My duties for Lady Webb require me to focus on my talents elsewhere. Forgive me. She doesn't take many visitors, but the ones she does invite are fascinating a lot. I have always marveled at her choices. Nothing in common to my eyes, but her sight is far keener than mine. I wonder what it is she sees. Her room is upstairs, the one with guards out front. The city may not understand her value, but the Duke certainly does. This is as though you could use some help. So many secrets and trails in the city. You have to but turn a corner and find a fresh trace of something stolen or someone missing. Unfortunately, we haven't time to investigate them all. I am supposed to be working on other matters, but my mind still lingers on a few recent cases. Curse of a cipher to be ruled by the whims of curiosity. One case or three, depending on how many you look at it. 3 weeks. Oh, about to sneeze. Sorry about that. 3 weeks and a disappearance at the end of each. Some might call it coincidence. I call it a clue. Lady Webb knows you, trusts you, so I can trust you too, so long as our interests are aligned. I'll look into it. Where did I start? Copper Lane, Andra's Gift, and Brackenberry, of course. To talk to the ones who reported the disappearances, the only ones who know enough to care, Laura, Oli, and Elga. 2 men, 1 woman. Lindry, Kendall, Cora. So that's Andra's Gift. Kendall will be Brackenberry, and Cora will be Copper Lane Bazaar. Not yet. No obvious connection between the victims. Could be animancy related. Researchers always need subjects, the less scrupulous types in particular. Seems too risky for the sanitarium, but one never knows. I wouldn't put it past them. Talk first to the people who reported our victims missing, perhaps, mayhaps. You will catch something I missed. I check for the soul's connections. Look for lost things, missing things, or troublesome things, particularly where people of power and influence are concerned. I am a cipher. In Ear Glenfath, we were once known as the Brishalgwyn Mind Hunters. Nice title, yes. But it wasn't until the Animancers began working with my kind 40 years ago that we truly understood our power. Farewell. So there are agents everywhere. So for this
I'll see what I can do.
I'll have it in no time.
Heh. Lady Webb will see you now. This woman clutches a thick stack of parchments with splendidly wrinkled fingers. Their flesh stretched thin to near translucence with extreme age, a gossamer veil over pale blue veins, ink blotches and candle burns, and the scars of innumerable slices from edges of scrolls dot and stripe her hands like a quilt patterned after some great indiscernible truth. She does not look up from her reading.
So, the messenger conveyed my summons. A miracle that would make the reincarnation of Aothis look like a child's cantrip, surely. It doesn't draw the most inspired minds, messaging. They failed me so many times of late, I nearly sent a cipher after you instead. So this is the Watcher who took over Cad Noir. Oh, don't look so surprised. It isn't an attractive expression. I wouldn't be where I am for long if I let details like that escape me.
So it's true. Those spies of hers don't miss much.
And this fiasco in the sanitarium that you seem to have gotten yourself into the middle of. What in blazes possessed you to stir that nest of trouble? Strange does not begin to describe them. The practices of the Leaden Key defy all reason. You're not the only one with an interest in their recent activities. I've lost 4 ciphers this year alone trying to get someone inside their ranks. As it is, we only have our suspicions about who is in the group and what they intend, which I suppose means we have much in common with them. I asked you here because I wanted to know what your interest was in all of this. I thought perhaps we might help each other. Why are you looking for the Leaden Key? The gods are cruel, I'm afraid. The man you seek is Theos Ix Arcanon, Grand Master of the Leaden Key. One of the most elusive and dangerous men Aora has ever known. More than most, though very few would know so much as his name. And there is no way of knowing how much of what I've read is true. The Leaden Key dates back more than 2,000 years. If rumors are to be believed, Theos was the one who created it. What scraps of evidence exist suggest that he has died many times, only to be reborn each time exactly the same man. Awakened during adolescence with all the knowledge and experience of all his lifetimes. The plots he orchestrates sometimes take hundreds of years to bear fruit. Needless to say, this is not the natural order of things. But he is said to be one of Woodica's favored, and that old bat was never one to let rules get in the way of favoritism. That may also explain another supposed gift of his. His body is no boundary to his soul, and he is known to take possession of others, if their souls are weak enough. Often it is for elaborate deceptions, but sometimes he simply forces them to kill themselves. He is not known for his generous supply of pity. He is also not one to show himself in any but their most critical matters. If he has directly involved himself in whatever the group plots now, it may be your only chance to find him. And once you do find him, if you can find him, I would not hold my hopes too high if I were you. He is a driven, single-minded man. He will not have the slightest concern for your problems. The same way I come by all my knowledge. Exhaustive research, spying, bribery, perhaps some less savory measures. Whatever the knowledge demands, I pay in full. There is nothing of greater value. Unfortunately, with Theos, there is also nothing more scarce. He has covered his tracks far too well. His manipulations of the course of history are lost to time now, though I believe they were many. Because you have seen his face, and that makes it a simple matter for me to see it. You even happened to catch him in his ceremonial garb, it seems. Must have been a special occasion. Precious little, I'm afraid. You may know much of it already. No one member knows the identity of more than a handful of other members. They are kept in the dark of missions they are not involved in, or sometimes of those they are involved in. They exist to hide secrets they themselves don't know. If you can imagine how gullible someone must be for that to appeal. Despite that, they are very good at what they do, owing much to their founder, who will take matters into his own hands when necessary, and he does not fail. Keep me informed. The Leaden Key has been busy lately, and that is distressing news. I can only guess as to what they intend. You seem to have a knack for turning the stones they've crawled beneath. Keep turning them. Dunreed Row will not stop you. Whatever it is they're up to, figuring it out will be of great use to both of us. In your case, it will surely point you to Theos. In return, I will share our knowledge with you as we learn it, and provide you with what assistance I can. If you find your trail has run cold, come to me with whatever you have. There is much I may be able to do for you. Well, let's hear it. Forgive me, it is unlike Theos to leave witnesses. He must be furious. He did not aid you as you'd hoped, I take it? Well, take heart. With any luck, when he has finished his business, he will surely come and find you again, if only to kill you while you sleep. This news of yours makes sense, of course. To dabble in animancy is to puzzle over the secrets of the gods. This would not be the Leaden Key's first action against it. But if this is connected to their other activities, we may be in for something on a much larger scale. If we can learn more about their goals and methods, perhaps we can get the palace behind us. With Avar's support, we may be able to put a stop to this. Yes? All the things there are to know in this world, and you ask me about work. Deerwood is a rebel country. Conflict is in its blood. If you think a few guards posted in our cities keep chaos at bay, you are very new to town indeed. We are Deerwood's cipher investigators, of course. But what we really are is its last barrier against anarchy. People are more at ease when they believe they are watched over by someone more enlightened than they are. It pacifies them. So that is the image we foster. And we do try to be enlightened for their sake. The knowledge we gather here is Deerwood's standing army in many ways. We learn what's vital and we act on it while Deerwood sleeps, blissfully unaware of the terrifying truths all around them. I wish I could tell people the things I know sometimes, but the truth is I don't think many of them could bear it. Me? I started this place, in a different time, under a different Duke. I impressed the Duke with my research and my work ethic, and he became possessed of the notion that I would be ideal to lead a secret network of gifted investigators. I don't know how such an idea got into his head. If you are hoping I can look at your hand and tell you whom you should marry, you can just wipe that notion from your mind. I do not know what will happen tomorrow. That is what I pay spies for. Being a cipher is not unlike being a watcher. You notice more about what is already there. Many can hold an object and know where it's been, or peer into the thoughts of people around them. They can also sometimes affect those thoughts, but that would be unethical, of course. A tiny, talented few pick up so much about the world around them, they can get images of things to come, but these are fleeting and unreliable. Who said I was talented? I don't. Least not that I can trust. And with me, it's only ever about one thing anyway. A quiet day at home. Try your best not to die.
So there's somebody I need to talk to in this area. Willie? Olay? Yeah, maybe that was a different zone. I'm assuming if I walk through that front door, someone flips out, whereas if I go through the back... Did she send you to run me out of town? You could tell her I'm not going anywhere without that medallion. I told Sorrel I wouldn't sell it to her. If that's what you're here about, then save yourself the trouble. If you have to ask, then you're obviously not here to shake me down. Sorrel's a courtesan over at the Salty Mast in Andra's Gift. We've been working together for over a year now. I found a noble with more money than sense. Fill him up with liquor and send him her way. They have a good time. Sorrel takes her fee and a little extra. 100 coppers here, trinket there. It's a bounty for us, and these lords and ladies never notice anything missing. Anyways, we always split the bounty until a week ago. She takes the necklace off of Noble. It's an Inguathan medallion, damn near priceless. That relic is sacred to my clan, but she won't part with it for any sum I could afford. And even if I wanted to, I can't go home without it. Most of my clanmates scattered to towns around Deerwood and probably live on crusts of bread. Restoring this medallion to the ruins would earn us the gods' forgiveness. The shattering spear could go home. It's all rather fascinating. A single medallion to earn the gods' favor and so return home. It rather reminds me of a story I've heard somewhere. It was this or scrape by in the gutters like the rest of my clan. But I'd give it all for that medallion. I've offered to, but it's worth more than anything I've got, and Sorrel knows it. Yeah, I don't really care about that one.
Hail, traveler.
No, very well. Let's do this first. Concentrates the power of blasts, negating some of the... And that will give it a shot. Area effect, foe target. Okay. I like things that affect my foe, but not my team. Aggrandizing radiance. Modifies plus... yeah, let's go with that. And one more. And you're getting something that's anti-fatigue. Yes, 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 I'm sick of you whining. Alright. Decreases the duration of and defends against hobbled. Okay, no, I don't care about that. To be terrified. 16 seconds. Huh, that's not bad. Let him summon something. What is this? Weapon focus. Soldier. I got you using a great sword. Savage attack. And venom strike. Grants and venom strike. 3 per rest. I kind of prefer passive abilities. Two-handed. It's two-handed style. 1 point. Yeah, we'll go with that. Alright.
How do you do?
It's my retirement. Used to be a warehouse back when Brackenbury saw more ship traffic, but it fell out of use when the area became predominantly or mostly residential. I inherited it from some great uncle who'd never had any luck pawning it off on my cousins. Okay, let's go sell a bunch of stuff. And +4 to intellect. Ooh, yeah, that's nice.
I'm sorry if I was a little tactless before, about your being a watcher. I didn't really understand what was involved. Is it hard, hearing the spirits all the time?
Maybe not.
Silence surrounds me.
Yes, indeed.
Pirates, huh? We don't know each other, stranger. Best to keep away. What's it look like? Good wine, a little piece of quiet? And Scarian doesn't ask too many questions. I'm a sailor. And a liberator of certain goods. The nice thing about the snobs here is that they're usually too polite to ask more.
I wonder, Aloth, don't you ever feel curious about Isilmir's history?
Not even a little.
But think of the opportunities. You could learn so much about the past.
There are some things I'm happy not knowing.
Alright, time for some cat burglary.
To whispers and shadows.
So here begs the question. Do we leave out the window, or do we keep going? That's why I'm gonna save.
That's unusual. I'll see what I can do.
Alright. So, anything beyond this is just being greedy. I just got a priceless jewel. And yet I will keep going.
I'll see what I can do. The work of a moment.
Braved Alfilathilim. This isn't working.
Got him!
If it makes you rest easier.
Yeah. I'm not happy with death. Not like that.
Certainly.
Sanitarium versus fires. Hunter's gift. Alright, far from home. Talk to Cyril. Speak with 3 contacts. Elk, yeah. Spends her time in Blackberry. I have yet to see an elk. Yeah. Here's an Elka.
Hail, traveler.
What's to tell? He's a pretty young lad, not the brightest of the bunch, but always pleasant company. We met up from time to time over the past few months. It was just a fling, really. It wasn't going to last. He was a little fool, but a sweet little fool. Worst blazing rendition of the general speech from the Widow of the Wood that I've ever heard. I love that fellow. It was a tragic failure, yet somehow he managed to get into it with acting troupe. A week ago, he came back to my house for a bit of fun. Afterwards, we fell asleep, and when I woke up, he was gone. No, nothing. He started hanging out with a bunch of actors. Seemed alright except for the woman with her long, willowy legs, slender arms, always came around wearing these low-cut dresses and impossible shoes. I don't know. I never cared to learn it. I didn't realize it might be important. Alright, so now let's talk to Laura. Yeah, I remember talking to Laura already.
Brave Dalfilathilim.
Assassins, huh?
Hi?
Oh?
Huh?
Main. Oh?
Hi?
What?
Spot on.
Hana!
Yes.
Why can't I see what I said? Some bloody note. Let's see what it says. Written on the scrap of parchment is a concise but detailed description of you, including your name, your distinguishing features, and everyone you're known to associate with in your brief time in Deerwood. Alright.
Certainly.
Dead assassins. Go ahead and do. Huh. Refugee. Drunk sailor. Courtesan. She's all open for business. Business. Not just a car. Nothing there. Thugs, huh? We ain't got nothing to talk about. That's a lighthouse. Trading company, abandoned house, Oda's house.
God's damn that son of a coon.
Want to run it down on its luck. If you have more than half a brain, you could really do something with it. Exactly? If I knew, I'd be in a better mood. The only thing I know exactly is Mestra Verzano is determined to wind up in a grave before the season turns.
Welcome.
Let's see what you got for sale. Ooh, Ring of Wonder. Grant second chance. Nice. Ooh, someone needs to be carrying that. It's a fine great sword. We need a fine mace. Fine flail's fine. Heh. Modified. Increase constant recovery. So, what does that mean exactly? Let's see. J. Oily. Oli. Oh, brothel. Gotcha. It's part of that scepter. From what I recall, there were 3 other pieces. I'd bet you anything they're somewhere in the shallows too. They only find the rude prophet folly. I'm lucky I escaped the shit like I did. I'm not taking a chance with those things. You find the missing pieces of the artifact. I've got an Animaster friend from my expedition days who finally get a stack of copper.
A dozen Adiran ships were shattered against these levees during the War of Defiance. Best to heed the astrologers, I find, where tides are concerned.
Place gets my blood beating in all the right places.
I'll see what I can do. The work of a moment.
Hello.
A touch of Margaren's fire should settle spirits here.
I have a key. Even though I've got an excellent lockpicker. He's just like, nope, I can't touch this one.
Gods keep you.
In the end, allegedly. The Wailing Banshee. Alright. That sounds like fun. It also sounds like it's actually not going to be what it claims, but we'll see. Now I can get it. Alright. And we're going to call an episode. Thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure and like, subscribe, and comment. I love comments. Please comment.